What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Sitting in the parking lot here at work, just got off day shift, and today we're headed to CSP to check up on the twin turbo ZL1. This has been where I've been spending most of my days at work, most of my hours. And speaking of the days, they're getting pretty short with the shortest day of the year coming up very soon. And while we're driving out of work here, I figured I'd show you guys how bad it is to drive any sort of vehicle through here. A lot of you guys were saying, why don't I just drive my car to work? Well, this is why. I mean, it's not even a paved road. It's stone, steel dust, just kicks up everywhere, big potholes. It's actually not bad right now. They filled some of it in with stone. It gets pretty nasty. You can see this guy going around, just that little Subaru wagon right there, freaking cooking up all that dust. So you can imagine when some big, huge pieces of equipment roll through here. There's a backhoe going down that way. I don't drive any of my cars even remotely close to here, and I never will. So that's one of the reasons why my truck is so dirty, because anytime it rains in there, it's just a catastrophe. But like I said, we're gonna head to CSP, and I'm gonna show you guys the current group of mods that we've done to the twin turbo ZL1 and kind of update you guys on when that might be finished. It is taking a little while, but there is a reason for that, and you guys will find out here soon. But we have a little over an hour drive ahead of us, so let's go. And look at that, we are here. That was a quick hour. You got to love the power of editing. Hey, where's my Chick-fil-A? Is it here?
There's actually some left in there.
Is it really? I haven't had Chick-fil-A in a long time, actually. Believe it or not. What's that?
Some of our customers brought it in.
Really? Wow, you guys.
Oh, you bring us Chick-fil-A.
Well, you guys have the best customers.
Someone brought us Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast.
Oh my God.
And Chick-fil-A for lunch. I just need to hang around and see what someone brings us for dinner.
Start giving people discounts just to feed you guys.
The way to my heart is through my stomach. So, you want a discount? Bring me Chick-fil-A.
Well, there you go, guys. Go get your card done at CSP and buy Alex lunch. Maybe he'll give you a discount. All right, what's going on behind door number 1? What are you doing?
Tearing shit up.
Tearing shit up.
And didn't you tell me to mess it up?
Oh, this is Andrew's. Wait, you said this is Andrew's car?
Yeah. I'm not doing anything. I'm just making it look like I'm doing something.
Did he just do the entire pool looking at me?
You need to clip to that Fast and Furious scene where he's like looking at the chick.
You got that from me.
So what are you doing to his car now?
Heads and camera are already done. We're gonna try and first start it tomorrow, but I still have to do the inner chiller. I'm on a low side fuel system.
Oh, there's the inner chiller.
Yeah, I just want to see if it fits in here because the heat exchanger is off the car. The cowlit's a little too big. Oh yes, it fits. That's awesome. I didn't want to have to cut the crash bar.
So that's exactly what mine looks like, and that's pretty much where it's mounted as well, right behind the crash bar.
So on the cars that retain the factory heat exchanger,
yeah,
you have to cut into the crash bar to move it forward.
Oh yeah, that's right, you took it out. This is just the radiator, okay.
I don't think we're really going to be doing too many of those anymore. It'll just be inner chiller only.
Yeah, so like he was saying, you don't really need a heat exchanger once you do the inner chiller, unless you're like tracking your car still, but like, I don't think, this is more of a drag.
More volume.
Yeah, this is more of like a street car / drag car like setup with the inner chiller. If you're running it on its track, I would still keep the heat exchanger. Speaking of fitting, let's go see where this fuel pump is going now. Oh look, there's the trans still out, obviously. We're still waiting for the converter to come back from ATI, and the fuel pump that we were that I showed you guys in the one video. Where's it going to go? Right here now? Is that what we've decided?
So it's a very tight area.
Yeah.
We gave them measurements.
Oh wow.
It's going to kind of go like that.
Is that my auxiliary pro charger?
Yes. Yeah. It's extra boost out of this.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah. So again, guys, with this new fuel pump here, basically what it is, it's a parallel system that goes along with the factory high side pump. This is essentially a modded factory high side. With a belt drive, as you can see on it. The normal high side pump would go on the back of the camshaft, but since you can't put two back there, we have to have this one up front here being driven by the crank pulley. I will have two high side pumps with the addition of two low side pumps. We upgraded the low side a little while back because that's the one that went first as far as losing pressure, not getting enough fuel up here to the high side. But once we did the low side, we had enough fuel, and then the high side shortly came as the next item that needed addressed. So now we're gonna have 2 of each, and that should be enough fueling. May even be enough fueling for full E85. We're gonna find that out obviously once we put this on here, but this pump is good too. I think they were saying 1400 horsepower.
These cars are so weird, like for the basic bolt-ons, it's great. You don't have to change fueling to get where you need to go. I mean, look how much power we made on 93 only with stock high side, stock injectors.
Even stock, well, even stock low side, we made 960.
Any other car, you'd have to change injectors and pumps.
Yeah.
But then once you get to this certain point, it's exponentially more expensive because you got to do direct injection stuff.
Right. Yeah, we're sticking with direct injection. A lot of people were asking why aren't we going to port injection, because I already have it set up on the intake manifold. But we're really trying to see what we can do with direct injection. Not a lot of people are really taking advantage of it. The only benefit to port would really be to clean the back of the valves. And this car does not have meth injection. It's not needed. You know, we've made so much power already. We've already made 1050 on 93 octane with just a low side pump. We're limited to about 1050. In fact, it was making more last time I was at the track, which was why I was cutting, I should say running out of fuel. It's a lot colder, so it made more power. This little guy right here is going to, well, I shouldn't say little, it's pretty big, but that's going to solve the issues with all the fueling.
We're like in the diesel world now.
Yeah, I know, it's getting crazy. So you found a spot, which is good, but the brackets that they sent obviously won't work because it was for over here, right? The brackets were meant to go over there.
For over here, but it's too close to the turbo, and then the bracket we got was for down there, which there's just no chance it's fitting down there.
Yeah, so we have to do it there, but we have to make a whole nother bracket, a CNC bracket, which is being done by K-Tech.
Yes.
And they've been sending back and forth drawings of the engine and where the mounting location would be, and obviously bracket, like you can see right there, that gray piece is the bracket.
I mean, they did this all in like a day or two from giving them measurements.
Right there, that's the pump right there. Now, what point are we at right now?
Waiting for them.
Waiting for them to make the bracket, I guess?
Yeah.
And then send it and make sure, hopefully it fits the first time.
It may take more than one try, but
if it fits the first time, we're golden.
And then we still have to figure out what we're doing with the overflow, since there's no longer any room for it. Same with the catch can.
So we're looking at 2 issues once this goes in, is catch can relocation, because it was here. And that's, in fact, this is the top of it right here. So it sat somewhere in this location, but like, I guess Eric was saying maybe in this location, a smaller version of it. Yeah. Then we got the coolant, which was like really right here. So, I mean, what about back there?
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe over here, just like, honestly, you can order a Mighty Mouse can to use for that too. So we might order 2 of them. And then I'll make a bracket off of this. But there's your 4-port boost solenoid kind of tucked under this rail here.
Okay, so part of the boost controllers, I guess, installed now. Did you guys figure a mounting location for the screen or anything?
I put it in there. This dash doesn't have any really good flat areas.
I know.
So it's just stuck somewhere. If you hate it, we'll move it. If not,
yeah. You got all the lines run from the wastegates, both sides. Where do you have it right now?
To get in the car, it's like next to your start button.
So okay, I see what you're talking about. So it's right there. How do you have that mounted?
It's just double-side tape right now.
Really? I actually like that.
See, we can hook up an external switch to that to activate either. You can either have it scroll through the 6 modes or activate scramble.
So one switch does one or the other.
Yeah, you can either have it scroll through the 6 modes, like progressively, or you can have it activate scramble boost. So if you only want 2 boost settings, like you set your first one and then you get traction and you hit scramble, it goes to whatever. Or you can have it like 1 for each gear, you can tap it.
I'm hoping to have traction on full boost.
Good luck.
At the track we shouldn't have an issue, but in Mexico we might. Well, I'm gonna need a 2-step button though too.
Yep.
So that's another thing that's gonna have to go.
We haven't gotten that yet from them, but
a 2-step would be a lot easier to have here. Hold the 2-step with one hand, and then I can let it go and get back on the steering wheel or whatever, like real easy. Or on the shifter.
Brake pedal, so that when the switch is on and your foot's on the brake, it'll be active. As soon as you let off the brake, it would deactivate it.
And what if I want to make noise though?
Well, I can still have a switch for that too.
Although this car doesn't make that much noise.
No, it's relatively quiet.
Yeah, so this is going to be the new air fuel gauge. It's the same one I have on the Freedom Rocket, like literally the same one, and it's nice. So that's the AEM.
This is the one that has the OBD integration.
That's another thing, a plus about these. There's a cable that comes out of that gauge and goes to your OBD2, and then you can have something else plugged into it, like if you're tuning, it would go through basically HP tuners, or like this gauge that I have here, like I could still have that plugged in. That's the P3 gauges gauge, and I could monitor like IATs. That's gonna be probably mounted. There's vent here. You can see that comes out, and then there's like a pod that comes up like right here. So that'll be easy to see. Then I'll have that there, and then I'll have that, I guess, there. I don't see why that's a bad location, to be honest with you. I mean, it's above the start button, it's not in the way. It's still easy to start the car.
I don't want to go too low because you'd be smacking it with your knee.
I'm not that big of a person either. You can still turn on my cooled seats, necessities, and heated seats. These are like glorious in the summer when you don't want to turn your AC on because you're racing, but you want your cooled seats on. Yes. So what are we thinking, man? I think it's gonna make on 93.
How much boost were we at when it was on the dyno?
We were like 16 or 18. I think it was 18.
1100, maybe 1150.
Yeah.
As long as we have the octane for it, the airflow's there. We'll see. I'll take it to its limit, and then your turn is probably gonna run that way.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
Shh, don't talk about her. We're not talking about you. It's okay. It's all right.
Fluid looks really good, actually. Expecting it to be black and like, oh, this thing's gonna die, but it's
Does it?
nice and cherry, right? It's got a little bit of color to it, but for what we're putting it through.
Yeah, that's good then. I never have, so you know, I have been ripping on it pretty hardcore since I got the car.
See that one guy on the internet was like, take the heat shield off.
Oh, the heat.
Holding in heat.
The heat shield
that's
comment.
Just keeping heat out of the car. You know
Yeah.
how close it is to your tunnel.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that heat shield is on there, guys, because it's not going to heat up the trans. It's literally going to save me in the car and the floor of the car from being scalding hot. So that's why they put that on there, because this is extremely close to the floor. And that's the only reason for it. I mean, the car's got plenty of cooling, plenty of transmission cooling. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why that shielding is on there. So Andrew, I see you got a new addition on your car. Would you like to talk about the inner chiller? Andrew's favorite part of 2018 has been the inner chiller by far.
Yes, it has.
Where's it at? Eric put
It's
it.
not on it yet.
It's over here.
It's gonna sit right here.
I know, we already saw. We're way ahead of you, man.
Oh, what?
Yep. Eric mounted it up. Yes.
I'm just so excited.
I think you might be the first.
I know. Well, we got a surprise coming up. I can't tell you guys about it. It's something special that nobody else has.
For this car?
Yeah, for this car before anybody.
Oh, the.
Oh, f you.
So Andrew's very famous for doing apples to apples comparisons on his dyno. They want to try to basically inform you guys on what parts make what power and what's good and what's not for your car. And
We've even tested Rotofab on the CTSV, did apples to apples comparison.
yeah,
Picked up 20 rear wheel horsepower
Yeah.
without any changes. And then one of the, we did this again on a Camaro, where they were asking, does it lose power when you close the hood? And it lost 3.5 horsepower.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's still, you're up like 17 horsepower, which was pretty cool.
right. I think a lot of companies like to fib the gains a little bit. They'll test the car when it's hot, and they'll get a base run, and then they'll let the car cool on completely,
Right.
put the new part on, and it'll
get this
gain how much?
Heat-soaked run, and we
Yeah.
just let it cool down and gain 20 horsepower. But we're going to tell you it's this part.
Right. Those of you guys that don't know, letting your car cool down can gain you anywhere between 15 and 20 horsepower. So
And that's why the inner chiller is so damn good.
there you go.
Hey, we tested it on the Freedom Rocket. You picked up 70 rear wheel horsepower when the inner chiller was on.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Was it that much?
Yeah, it was that much.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause I
That's
started at
wild.
what would have been a normal pull. It was like 90 or 100 degrees or so on the IAT2. And then we did it again, pulling it all the way down to like 45 or so.
Then that seems
picked up
about-
70 rear wheel horsepower.
Well, that seems about right. You'll go faster, you'll have more power, more consistent power. A lot of guys are just doing the old good old-fashioned ice box.
Yeah.
Because I think people are just kind of still weary about the inner chiller, the whole method of the inner chiller, and it runs off your AC and
I think
everything.
we have 3 cars with inner chillers on it here.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it makes complete sense. Like it makes so much sense.
Like if you're into racing, you got to do it with the competition switch. It takes everything from your AC condenser, and instead of sharing it with the cabin, it devotes it all to the inner chiller, so it's like maximum cooling. Like when you're drag racing, that's kind of what you want. And with a flick of the switch, then you can share it with the cabin. You can get these things at cspracing.com. Shameless plug.
It slowly zooms in.
Yeah.
So that's a little update for you guys on the twin turbo ZL1. We're kind of stuck right now developing that bracket until the fuel pump is ready to go on. can't really do much. We're waiting for the converter as well. We've got some great companies contributing to the build, and I can't wait till this is done so I can finally get it back on the track and hopefully run maybe a crazy fast time. Maybe it may or may not run a faster time than the Freedom Rocket. I'm not quite sure yet. It is making a little more power, but we'll see what happens once we get the converter back and see how that works out for us. I think it's gonna do well, but the transmission is, well, it has a limit. So we may very well go past that limit, which means kaboom. But it's okay, because I'm gonna do it as much as I can and push the car, well, I should say the transmission, as far as I can, just in case maybe by some miracle it would actually run a record time. That would be awesome, and the transmission would still be intact. I only need one pass. We'll do another dyno video once we get the fuel pump on, because we believe this is gonna make probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1150. And that's what Eric was saying earlier in the video, and honestly that's what I think as well. Maybe those turbos will take us past that. They've gotten us pretty darn far already on just 93 octane. No meth, nothing like that. I think I'm gonna try to get to a track somewhere down south, obviously, because most of them are closed around here. In fact, Cecil County, the track that I go to, it's closed for the winter. So we're gonna have to find somewhere farther south, possibly North Carolina at Fayetteville. I don't particularly want to go back all the way down to Florida. I think we can stay a little bit farther up north just to find a track, but if I have to, I may try to find a way to do that. Also, I'm still running the 25% off sale online. The link is below for you guys in the description. All my stuff on the website is 25% off, and we'll be running that, like I said, till the 25th. So those of you that have taken advantage of it, I thank you very much. All of your stuff is shipped out and will be to you before Christmas. As far as ordering now, sorry, I just cannot get them out in time, but you will receive it after Christmas that week. Jackson, come here. Can you oh, there he is. He made it into the frame. There's his little nose. Alrighty, let me finish the outro now. Okay, you just want to stay there? You want to stay there? Okay, you can stay there. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I promise the next video will not be as far away from this one. I know I took a pretty long break, at least a week or something, and then the previous video before that, I think, was a week. But that's life, that's work. But I can tell you right now that I already have a video done for you guys. The truck made an appearance again, and we did something fun with that, so stay tuned. And if you enjoyed this one, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and have a great day.